Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to The Scoop. My name is Graham Day, and this man in the box is the Bib. Morning, Bib.
Good morning. I just literally started standing up then, just as you went live, so I just see myself bobbing up and down.
I just heard the rattling. I was like transfixed on the camera, so I didn't even see what was happening. But have you got ants in your pants? Is that what it is?
No, mate, I didn't wear a belt today. I forgot to put one on, so my pants are constantly around my ankles, so I will try and remain seated for the sake of us not getting banned on Twitch.
Well, do you know what? It makes sense because you had your pants pulled down last night and your FIFA goes... Sorry, I take it back. I didn't mean it. You did all right, actually, to be fair. No, I was watching your stream and I was saying, like, I joined the TV and Danielle was sat next to me and I was saying, it's not doing too bad here. But you kind of nailed it on the head when you were talking about it was the same sort of stuff I was saying when we were playing FIFA. Because you've not played it all day, every day, you don't know the intricacies of exactly what like level in the animation you need to shoot and things like that. So, but if you guys didn't see it, feel free to check the previous broadcast. You will see Bib getting. I mean,
getting mauled.
Not necessarily. I mean, the
first game. Yeah, the second guy, I definitely should have done. The second official game, I definitely should have done better. But the seasons match that I played and I got beat 7-0.
Yeah,
that was just embarrassing.
I
didn't really know what to do after.
Keep dropping out. Oh no, we're losing the Bib. We're not actually losing him. He does genuinely sound like he's an android that's just man-formed. That is what Billy sounds like. And if you haven't heard that before, well, then you get to hear it for the next hour or so here on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Applause. I realise as well that I start the show by saying good morning, because it is. It's only, well, we're starting a bit late today. It's almost 11 o'clock. It's 11:15 in the UK for us. So we usually start the show by saying good morning. But there's a high chance that you are watching this show on YouTube, because we film the scoop live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads, so you can get involved in the morning, but early afternoon the video goes live as a standalone podcast on YouTube, and then goes on audio podcast on our 4 podcast services later on in the day, so iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. So it's probably, I mean, we've got one place where we're live in the morning, and then we've got 5 other places where we're live in the afternoon, and so if it's not the morning, then, do you know what, good evening, good afternoon, good whatever. But thank you for being here on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads, or whatever one of the podcast services that you are tuning in on. So what is the scoop? The scoop is, King Comic 7 says, morning all. Good morning. See, there we go. It is morning after all. Good morning, King Comic. How are you doing? So the scoop is our daily dose of games industry news. We take all of the news that impresses us or we feel is worth talking about from the games industry and beyond, and we bring that to you. If you're watching live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads, you can get involved in the chat, which is kind of down there-ish. Feel free to do that. You guys are the only ones that get to interact with us, because the guys that do watch later on YouTube and listen later on our audio services... Oh, God, is that you? So the guys that do listen on our audio service later on, they get the benefit of having it on demand. They can listen to us or watch us wherever they want, but they don't get to interact in the chat. So if you are in Twitch, feel free to do that on behalf of everyone else. What time do you call this? Says number one pirate. Good, thanks, mate. And yourself? Yeah, I'm good. I'm chatting with you guys, so it's all good. But we are starting later today. We did put some tweets out about it, saying it. There's a couple of things. The first thing is I'm the proudest dad in the world, and my daughter's just been given an award, so I had to go to school. But then the other things is you might have seen my tweet. Apologies if I'm too quiet. I'm rolling away from the microphone so I can show this. This is something that we've been working on for the last few weeks at Jelly and Ice Cream. So this is the Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts press kit. So you might have heard us mention Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts a few times. We've obviously been out of the studio doing some events. But the whole team have kind of been putting a lot of effort into not only providing social support and doing general marketing bits, but we've also released a press kit that has been circulated, not even just as far as sunny Salford, which is absolutely 100% not sunny again this morning, but yeah, literally worldwide, Australia, America, everywhere. These kits will be rolling out on social media today, so you guys will be able to see those. I'm going to open this very, very quickly because I understand that the people listening on audio services, you guys can't see it. But we'll get some pictures, we'll put them out on social media, and obviously you can watch the video back on demand on Twitch and on YouTube. Have you seen these kits, Bib?
I'm going to say I had a hand in building some of them on Monday or Tuesday this week. So, yeah, it's a fantastic stuff that's gone in there. And GG's to the events team that managed to get all that stuff put together. It's been quality.
Yeah.
And that is literally why I've been in the little store cupboard for 2 of the episodes this week. Obviously, because the studio was in use for that, because it was just the amount of stuff that we've had in and around the office. It just expanded the whole ground floor. So yeah, that's why you're seeing that. People saying that I was in the toilet.
No,
it was very close.
it's a very elaborate ruse. We've basically commissioned, designed, and built some press kits just to cover the fact that Bibby has emergency turds here at 10 a.m. on Ice Cream Upwards. Okay, I'm going to try open this quickly. Probably not going to be as extravagant as we'd like, but obviously we don't want to spend too long on it because the guys listening to this won't be able to get the full picture. But we have a huge magnetic sealed box, which was obviously wrapped in an elastic strap that I've just taken off. So let's quickly jump in. I'll try to keep as far back as we can so you guys can see it. We have a tube. Oh, everyone loves tubes. No, I don't actually know what's in the tube. I do know what's in the tube. I can't open it. Okay, we have a tube, and inside the tube we have some shooting targets. These are the contracts within the game. So, do you know? I think I can mention Igor Sekov because he was in a trailer. So there we have shooting targets focused and designed around all of the main contracts within the game. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Just going to start putting things on the floor because I'm not going to repack it. We have what any true Salford man has: fake passports. Oh yeah. So there's my Russian ID. Doesn't look too far away from me. That's kind of okay. I mean, and then we have my American passport as well. Still not too far from me. I think I'm probably the good person to choose to put these passports against my head because it looks kind of like me. That's fine. We have some spondoolies, a few $1,000 or $20 to $2,000 worth of $20 notes. Yeah. Oh my God! Focus. Oh, I can't even show it.
Focus, goddammit!
There we go. You can see behind the strap, Sniper Ghost Warrior branding. Then, as well as that, we have some Polish latte with Sniper Ghost Warrior branding on it too. And then, as well as that, some good old English pounds. And that guy there that you can see on the picture, that is Marek, who's a big boss at CI Games. So there's a nice little nod to those guys there. We have some more target mission briefing documents. Once again, based on the characters within the game. And then this is where we start to get to more my kind of thing within it. That stuff's cool and everything, don't get me wrong. But when we start to get to wearable merchandise, oh yes. One thing actually, if you guys want to check out a video that went live last night from a guy called Stadia, his video was really cool because it did that thing where you kind of go, boom, and then he cuts to him wearing the t-shirt, which just I love that sort of stuff. Like, boom. So stop motion. So we have a Sniper Ghost Warrior military t-shirt, Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts audio CD created by the lovely soundful guys at Jelly and Ice Cream. Woo. Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts on the PS4. Don't mind if I do. This one, if I hadn't have done my hair, of all the days I've worn a hat this week, and today I do my hair, and I've got an over-the-head snood that we can put on, which makes you look like the Seeker, the main character in the game. Pretty cool. Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts. That is the sniper rifle within the game, and then just a branded bullet because you can't really brand a gun, so it makes sense. Sexy bullets. These aren't anything to do with Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts. This is just me because I'm a badass ghetto smurf. I always walk around with dog tags around my neck. Now these are the Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts dog tags, and if you take a look at the tag, you guys can't see it properly there. It's already out. So it says Seeker SGW Contracts 22/11/2019. It's almost made as if it was meant to be shown today on the 22nd of 11/2019. My God! And then below PC, PS4, Xbox One. Very cool. A Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts branded USB. So there we go. It's a bullet with Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts branding on it. Don't know if you can see all of that. We'll show you some better pictures on social media. So make sure you follow at Ice Cream Uploads on Twitter. We'll put them all out there. But we have a sexy USB stick as a bullet. So open that bad boy. Pow! Yeah! Okay, I'll put that back together shortly. And then, probably the two biggest things, we have a Sniper Ghost Warrior Contract zip-through hoodie. Not only is it a zip-through hoodie, but this, you guys should already know the quality of this. There you go. Insert coin. Zip-through Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts hoodie with branding on the back too. Very, very sexy. Very, very sexy.
I love the t-shirt. It's so nice.
The t-shirt, yeah, it's very good. Very, very good. The hoodie obviously has that winter snow sort of style that the Seeker has within the game, but this is probably the sexiest bit in the whole package, just because this is absolute bespoke custom. If you've played Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts or seen any of the content on YouTube already, wow, that's what you call a box of goodies. Absolutely. Shout out to the team for making this.
Yeah, the events team have gone above and beyond with this one. It's definitely since I've been working here, it's definitely the best.
Don't know what you said there, Bib. I'm not gonna lie, it cut out quite a bit, but we saying it's the best thing.
Looks like I won't be contributing much today, then, will I?
But yeah, look at how cool that is. That is the mask that the Seeker wears in Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts. As you can see there's obviously a little bit of a I don't know what you call that, like a flare, like a light on the eye. But this mask is what the main character has. The Seeker has throughout the entire game, and this helps you target your enemies, spot the surroundings, do all sorts of cool snipery things. But this has been like exclusively manufactured and made. That's pretty good. Look at that cushioning inside of it. It's good. It's good. Anyway, these are extremely rare. We've had them made exclusively for this event. So if you're lucky enough to get one of these, then you're a very lucky person indeed. But shout out to Team Jelly Media and Team Ice Cream and the lovely folks at CI Games for working with us and allowing us to put our creative minds together to pull something that's as big and as sexy as that off. So GG to every single person involved. Anyway, we will get you more pictures of all of that. Don't worry if you can't see it all. I know I've not done the greatest job because we're trying to speed through it for those of you that that are listening on audio services. Obviously, you can't get the full benefit of what we've done there. So we will put you some pictures on twitter.com/ice cream upload so you can see it in its entirety. So shout out to myself for that. No, for Bib, for Jess, for Alistair, for Luke, Lewis, Connor, all of our team particularly, obviously, as well as the likes of Asim, Roy, Leslie and Frank and everyone from CI that have put a lot of effort into that. And I think we can all do a crisp high five for how good that's worked out. Yeah. GG to Team Jelly and ICU, says Only Human Jelly. Yeah. Absolutely well gel, says King Comic number 7. Is that lovely day? I'll take that as a personal compliment. Thank you very much. The irony that the stuff Jelly has done has made me jelly myself. Oh mate, it's sick. I really should have put the hat on today because that, I reckon having that snood and the Sniper Ghost Warrior mask on, like the Seeker's mask, I think, yeah, it would have been nice. We've lost the Bib though. I mean, I'm going to have to pad a little bit. The reason you've not had Bibby in your ears if you're on the podcast services is he's just kind of got up and left the studio. Now he's now turned into a black screen with a couple of floating dots. So bye, Bib. But yeah, I mean, just going to have a drink of my brew. There are some cool bits within it. I mean, I can show you this a little bit closer while Baby's not here. So this, for those of you on the audio podcast service, is a die-cast sort of stainless steel-esque USB stick, but it's hidden within a bullet. So you've got a screw cap bullet that's obviously branded Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts, and it's pretty sick. The mask though is class. The hoodie, well, it's all class to be fair. Don't worry, you can send me a pic of what it will all look like when you're wearing this nude. I'll put everything on. Yeah, I'll get the hoodie on. Well, actually, let me show you. Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts. Let's go to images. There we go. That's a good image to show. So this image I've just found the first thing on the internet that I could find that says it, and this is from Nerd for Life. So let's bring the image full screen. There we go. That is the Seeker. So you can see the mask. You can see the camo hoodie, and that's what we're going to have. We'll have the snood, we'll have the mask, we'll have the hoodie. I mean, I'm literally going to be walking around Salford like a badass sniper mofo. I mean, potential arrest inbound, but worth it for the content. Do it for the content. You back, Bib?
Mm-hmm.
Where did you go?
Well, the Ethernet cables don't seem to be working down here. I don't know whether or not I need to restart my laptop or it's just that none of the Ethernet cables are working. So I went to go and try a different one, didn't work. So I just chose a different Wi-Fi setting.
Okay.
So we'll see.
It seems okay at the moment. It seems good at the moment. So let's move ahead. I mean, so we've gone from one unboxing. We do have something else for you as Bibi trashes the studio. We do have something else, but we will jump onto that after we go through our first article. So let me see. Jumping into the news then, ladies and gentlemen, we have a few articles for you on today's show. We'll fly through it because obviously that unboxing's added a bit of time. But we'll jump straight in. And no surprise, we're still beating this drum. Wesley Yin-Poole from Eurogamer says, Stadia is in desperate need of crossplay. Matchmaking, ... Which I'm assuming, because I haven't touched this Stadia yet, is reference to how long it takes to find a game. I'm struggling to play Stadia games competitively online. One sentence paragraph to begin the article. Obviously, I'm assuming that's going to set up what's potentially going to be a damning article, but let's continue. Google's video game streaming service launched on Tuesday night with 22 games, and I've spent the past few days trying out competitive multiplayer with those that have it. I had wondered whether it would be feasible to play these parts of the games, given what from the outside looking in seems very much like a soft launch. I found that, depending on what time of day you're playing, significant parts of some Stadia titles may as well not exist, simply because there aren't enough people playing for matchmaking. It's worth starting with Destiny 2, which feels like Stadia's flagship game. If you have Stadia now, you have Destiny 2 with it, as it comes with a Stadia Pro subscription, and you get 3 months of that with this launch Founders Edition. Destiny 2 is a game built for co-op, and while my time spent in the tower, the game's social space, has shown there are people playing the game on Stadia, when you try to engage with other multiplayer parts of the game, it's a bit of a struggle. Control, the competitive multiplayer standard mode, is your best bet here. The 6v6 battle, where I expected most PvP players to be, and it feels like it's how it's turned out. But most of my attempts to get a match so far have failed due to a lack of players. When the game has found enough players to start a match, a minimum of 10 for 5v5, it's taken much longer to get to the point. It's taken much longer to get to that point than it would on the PS4, Xbox One, or PC. It's a worse situation on the other modes in the Crucible. I have so far failed to get a match of the Gambit, the 4v4, the PvPvE mode. I'll say that again because I've done a bit of a shit job saying it. I have failed so far to get a match of Gambit, which is the 4v4 PvPvE mode. My attempts at playing Strikes, the match-made 3-player co-op mode, have resulted in missions starting with just 1 player. In short, playing Destiny 2 on Stadia right now means limited access to a significant portion of the game. On to Mortal Kombat 11, which is one of my favourite fighting games at the moment. While I'm a big fan of the story and other single-player modes in Mortal Kombat 11, what I'm really interested in is competitive online. For me, playing ranked matches right now, we're in another season of the Combat League, is the reason to play a NetherRealms fighting game. Unfortunately, in 3 days of testing, I've managed to find just 1 Combat League match. 1 match in 3 days. Damn. So let's just do a little bit of a skip. Right down to the end. The upshot of this is Stadia's games are in desperate need of crossplay. Destiny 2 has cross-save, which is a great thing for the game on Stadia, as it means I'm playing with my existing characters I've already spent hundreds of hours with. But crucially, the likes of Red Dead Redemption 2, Mortal Kombat 11, and Samurai Showdown do not. I'm starting from scratch with these games, and I don't have players on other platforms to help with matchmaking. I find myself more likely to invest in a game if it's popular, but then how do games get popular in the first place? Stadia needs to push through this community sense barrier if it wants to survive. Crossplay is coming, I understand. Google has so far not responded to a request for comment on this story, and things will inevitably get better as more Stadia owners come online, but the service already feels like it's launched without many of the features you'd expect from a new console. And if people suspect Stadia games are ghost towns, Google could find itself without any players too. So, I mean, we kind of kick Stadia here on Ice Cream Uploads, not because we want to, just because we feel it bit off more than it could chew. the guys at Google have obviously got a big dream with Stadia, but rather than building up to it, they've promised the world and then given you a little bit of it, and that's the bit that's irking a lot of people. You can't set expectations and then not deliver on them, which sounds exactly like what it is. I mean, I'm talking this from an outside perspective. I haven't touched a Stadia controller. I haven't seen someone playing a Stadia game firsthand with my eyes. But, babe, I believe you're in a different situation.
I am in a very different situation. And would you like me to show you why I'm in a very different situation to you this week, Graham?
Oh, let me just hit my big bib button. Boom. Pow.
Big button.
Yeah.
Live and exclusive. Without you here. So, boom. Boom. We've got Google Stadia in the office now. We've had this in for about 2 days, but we wanted to have a proper go with it, obviously, before we start to give you our thoughts and feelings. We've given you a lot of them based on other people's opinions. However, it was time to start forming our own. Now, hopefully, the internet won't keep on skipping out. Can you hear me well enough?
Yeah, it seems to be fine at the moment.
Perfection. So we've got the Stadia in the house. I've left all the components and everything upstairs, barring the controller. But essentially, it comes with your... what's it called? The Ultra Chromecast or something?
Yeah, Chromecast Ultra.
Oh, Chromecast Ultra. It comes with that. And I tell you what, yes, it does come with an Ethernet port, but the Ethernet port is actually on the plug rather than the unit itself, which is weird. I've never seen anything like that before. So you plug the Ethernet cable into the plug, you plug the connection into your Chromecast, and then into the back of the TV. It is not as easy to set up as you think it is. It's not just plug and play. You have to download apps on your phone. You have to try and sync it with your Wi-Fi. Then you have to try and sync it with your Ethernet cable. It's not... I thought it was just going to be, boom, connect it in, and then you're able to select the Wi-Fi network that you're on using the controller and the Chromecast. Select whatever the IP, the Wi-Fi name is for the building, and then it'll sync up to your phone or your PC. You're good to go then. But apparently it's not that easy, and we've probably spent about 25 minutes trying to get it to connect to Lee's phone to the Chromecast. And then get into something. But yeah, I mean, the pad itself, I'm not going to lie, it's probably one of my favourite pads of this generation. If you have played with a Nintendo Switch controller, the Pro controller, it very much feels like that. It's a nice weight. It's probably on the heavier side of the controllers this generation, which is great, really, because I don't like the light controller. I mean, the PS4 pad is quite light compared to an Xbox One controller where you have to put the batteries in there. They're quite bulky, especially like the Xbox 360 controllers was bulky as well, weren't they?
Yeah.
And when you had the charger pack and the batteries and things like that in the back. But this for me is probably the perfect weight, if I'm being honest. It's got the PS4 paddle controls in the R2 and L2, which is nice, and the buttons. I don't know if you can hear that going through. They are nice and what's the word I'm looking for?
Clicky.
What we're going to say.
Clicky.
Yeah, so the D-pad is insane. It's a really, really good D-pad, especially if you're playing like platformer games. I don't know how many of them are going to be coming to the Stadia, unlike what they are in on the Nintendo Switch, which just seems to be any kind of indie platformer machine. But the controller itself is brilliant. I really like it. I couldn't recommend. If they could bring a PlayStation 4 version of this, it would be golden.
Let me just feel what it feels like. Just hold it up so I can just touch the edge of it. A little bit sideways, over this way, towards me. Where? No! Never mind. I was trying.
I haven't got you on the screen, so I can't see it.
Oh, okay. Never
I see what I'm aiming at. I'm just throwing it in space at the moment.
Let's just all pretend that didn't happen. That's fine.
Yeah, I haven't got you up on the screen. I don't want to use the internet, otherwise it'll end up blowing my PC up or something. But yeah, as the controller goes, it's probably one of the best controllers that you're going to use in this generation. Me personally speaking, anyway. USB-C charging as well, which is perfect as we're moving away from the micro USB stage of our lives. Thank God. But in regards to the gameplay now, we have Virgin Media in this building now. So we are easily getting between 200 and 300 downloads and probably about 100 to 150 uploads. So we're more than capable of playing this at any kind of high speeds. Unfortunately, when I was watching Lee play it yesterday, playing Destiny 2, it wasn't a lag-free experience, and it did glitch and drop frames. I'd probably say every minute or two. It wasn't consistently. However, when we was playing, I want to say Samurai Warriors. That's probably not the name of it, but Luke was playing that early doors yesterday morning.
What's a Samurai?
Samurai. It's like I say Danielle. Who says Danielle like that? It's Danielle, but I don't know. You know what I mean? Forget it. But yeah,
Samurai Shodown.
Samurai Showdown, he was playing that yesterday morning to get a feel of it, and that it was unplayable. If you're trying to play, it could have been Matt Wales' report earlier this week saying that if you have any kind of delay in a game that requires like a pinpoint accuracy in regards to the ping and the frame rate, then don't use this for any kind of game like that because it's not going to work. But Destiny looked all right. It just dropped frames every so often. But as it stands, the reports, from my opinion, are correct. It's not in any kind of state to be talked about in any kind of high regard. It's definitely classed as being in a beta stage. It's not the best. But for £120, you know, getting out the gate and getting into this Founders Edition kind of thing, it's an investment at this point. It's not a gaming console at the moment. It is definitely an investment, and you just got to hope it gets better. I've just seen King Comics comment. How much does it cost at Stadia set you back? It was £120, and I will shit you not. This was ordered on the day that the pre-orders went up, and we ended up getting ours 2 days after everybody else.
Yeah, I thought it was only a day, but even still, whenever we got it in, ordering on launch day, a lot of the news articles kind of made you assume that if you ordered it a couple of months after, then you might miss out on a day or two after launch. But we ordered it on launch day. When the pre-orders first went live, I didn't realise that. I mean, we still got Founders Edition, so we still got the original edition, but we didn't get it on launch day. And if that Wesley Yin-Poole article that we've just seen on Eurogamer is anything to go by, that's not really a benefit. I mean, it's nice to get it early, but Wesley Yin-Poole's got it early, and his issue is that there is feck all. There is nobody playing online. Yeah. And the thing is, though, that becomes a vicious circle. There's nobody online, so you've got it, but you just think, oh, what's the point? I'm not going to play it. I'll play my PlayStation. So because no one's online, nobody goes online. And you're not going online because there's no one online, and because there's no one online, you're not and then you just keep going and going and going. So the only way to tackle that is to have some huge release, some big piece of news, be it a massive sale, be it a brand new collection of games, something that pulls people in and draws them in. The thing is, though, that's usually associated with that kind of relaunch mentality. Okay, we've had something and it's dropped off, and we now need to relaunch, but we're talking about Stadia probably needs to relaunch 3 days after it launched. What the fuck?
But yeah, I mean, I just got another two things to add with this. I've seen those of you that have followed either myself and Graham will probably seen people speaking to about a bloke on Twitter called Nico Di Maria, who has been a big advocate of this Google Stadia since it came out, or since he started talking about it when it got released. He has his, and he didn't get his until the day after release. And his name, one of the reasons why people wanted this and wanted to pre-order as soon as they could is so that they could try and take their name. However, he got his like 1 or 2 days later, and the name that he wanted was no longer available. So luckily for us, with a name like as unique as ours, we was able to put in Jelly, and nobody had it. So that is our Stadia name. If you are looking for friends, you can add us. Might not be online for a while, but we'll certainly be there.
And even if we are, we might not have enough people to play together.
Absolutely. Which brings me on to my second point. I didn't realise as well that Destiny, you can actually transfer your saves across all platforms.
Yeah, I didn't know that
until... Did you see his tweet yesterday?
No, I didn't know that until reading through that Wesley Yin-Poole article. I mean, I'm not a big Destiny player anyway, so that Destiny 2 having cross-save, I have heard cross-save be mentioned. I didn't realise it was Destiny 2. I thought it was probably just going to be one of the lesser games or something. Or I know it's a massively flawed thing now I think through it. I thought, oh, cross-save, it's clearly going to be Guilt because that's been made exclusively for Stadia. But then I think, oh, wait, no, that's kind of not how it works. How can you have cross-save with something that's been made exclusively for one format? What?
But yeah, I think he predominantly plays on PS4. I'm just going to say that. He does play He does play it on a predominantly console that isn't Stadia, and he's managed to transfer his save over. It's just it doesn't have crossplay yet. Whether or not it ever will, I don't know. But I think this is in desperate need of crossplay if they're going to try and get the players to try and build a player base apart from just Stadia owners who don't have the best rep at the moment when it comes to this console. So if they need players, get it cross-played instantly because it's cross-play against on everything else. So just do it now.
Yeah, the thing is, I mean, crossplay, it could be good because that unlocks their biggest issue in terms of, we're talking about the need for a relaunch to get more people into the game. Crossplay unlocks that because you don't need to relaunch. You can just play against the guys that have already got however many 150 million.
Yeah.
Was it 150 million PS2s or was it 100 million or something like whatever? PS4s, should I say. So, yeah, if there's 100 million PS4s, you can play against all of those and the other 6 people that are playing online on Stadia. Jobs are good and you don't even realise that there's no one online. And then that kind of bluffs you through that bit. And then your issues aren't player-based related and install-based. Is it a good system? And that's, I mean, the shit thing about not having the players is you can't make a good what's the word? Let's go with decision. You can't make a good decision on whether the system you've got is right or is wrong, if it's good or if it's bad, because you can't get the full experience. So having that player base through crossplay, I mean, chances are, from what you've been saying, Lee having lag every minute ish, I wouldn't play it. I'd probably rather have constant lag than intermittent lag. Intermittent, because you kind of, it's almost that. Being lulled into a false sense of security and then being punched in the knackers again, like bang, fuck, lag, and I'm going to go full on psychology A level here. The human ear has something called the orienting reflex, whereas like we get annoyed more by things that go like so sounds that aren't constant, something that kind of like goes buh, buh, whereas if you just had a you'd eventually tune out to it, and that's the kind of same thing with lag for me. If I have constant lag, I kind of like adjust my play to it, whereas if it was like intermittent lag every minute, PUBG has improved.
I think that they're the kind of games that you need. They need Fortnite and they need another massive game on this. Borderlands, maybe, I don't know. I know that's coming soon anyway. And maybe by the end of the year, but they need something else on this. They need something that they can, if parents can just say, for 120 quid, I'll let little Jimmy go and play Fortnite, or whatever, I don't know. But they need something else on this to be able to get more people to play it, especially if you're getting Founders Editions and you can get Destiny 2 for free. You can play Destiny 2 for free. It's just... I don't know what... I'm not their business guy, do you know what I mean? But they must be looking at these numbers and shitting themselves. If they're not, then... The person's in the wrong business.
I think what they need to do is own it, in terms of they need to go, look, we've launched, clearly there's a lot that we need to work on, and change that stance. It's going to be hard now because they've come out and said 4K gaming, all of the things, crowd play, jump in and take over from someone when they're mid-game, and all these cool ideas that no one's ever really going to use, but all the cool stuff that we're going to do. And they need to just go, do you know what, actually, we had the wrong attitude. We're in there now, we realise that there's a lot we need to do. We don't even have fucking trophies, man. so just own that and say, look, what we're not going to do, though, is give in. We understand that there's a lot of founders out there. There's one sat in Ice Cream Upload Studio, and us at Google recognise how cool they are. Cheers, guys. Thanks, mate. Yeah. But they need to kind of say, we're not backing down on our founders. We are building on this. We realise that we kind of came out beating our chests. We need to go, okay, now we need to scratch our heads, have a little bit of think about what stuff is missing. Don't come out willy-waving. Just like, it doesn't matter about the size of it, mate. It's can you use it? And at the moment, yeah, you might have a big girth, but fuck me, you're missing the target, man. Penis reference. So, yeah, we kind of...
as ever, Ice Cream Uploads, the old knob jokes.
Yeah. So, yeah, we can only hope that they do that. They take it with a pinch and go, look, transparency. It's not as good as we wanted it to be. It's not as good as you wanted it to be. But what we are doing is... You know what? We're Google. We have more money than you, so and you and everyone. Well, not so much Microsoft and sort of, but pushing that we've got infinite time, we've got infinite resources. We don't have to rush to make this succeed. Now we can play the long game. So buy a Stadia now, get involved now, be a founder, and you'll get all these extras. If you don't, obviously we'll give you a lot more reasons to get involved in the future. The service will keep improving, and that's the attitude that they need to take. Even on the AMA, they were just like, yeah. That's coming in 2020 at some point, maybe, potentially, probably not. And it was just like, even then, even just saying, yeah, it wasn't like a fuck. Yeah, we understand that's what you want. We haven't got it ready, and we should have done. We haven't, but we should have done, but it will be coming. They just went, yeah, that's coming in 2020, as if that was part of the master plan all along. Why did you not tell us now, before this AMA, in launch week? Why did you not tell us back in May when you were first going, pew, crowdplay, pew, all these other things that aren't going to be available, maybe ever?
Never.
Science Graham dropping the knowledge, orienting reflex. Shit, I missed the press kit opening. Yeah, we kind of flew through it just because obviously this the scoop gets turned into a podcast for video services and audio services, so we didn't want to kind of drag along it. But you can either jump back through the broadcast once we've finished, or you can look at it on YouTube a little later on, or we will get some pictures of the items that are in the press kit and we will put them out on social media. Maybe not my stuff, maybe we'll get some sexy pictures taken within the ice cream upload studio itself that do the items some justice, because we need that full-on ice cream feel. But yeah, anyway, moving on. We've spoken about Stadia. I mean, before we move on, give us a look at the pad and the box. I do you know, I actually have quite a weird fetish for boxes, like those nice glossy boxes that you get with new tech. Let's have a look again, babe. Give us a show.
There's your thumbnail, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, 1 second. You do that again, and I'll do the YouTube shocked thumbnail. Go on.
1 sec.
And then.
There's your thummy. There is your thummy.
There you go. Social media live on twitch.tv/icecreamuploads. But I mean, if things weren't getting worse for Stadia, I mean, they could be anyway, because I mean, you think of massive companies. Obviously, you've got the likes of Google, you've got the likes of Microsoft, you've got the likes of Sony's and stuff. But what other company could you think of that is massive in the international sort of business scene? Any companies come to mind, Bib?
Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, no.
I
mean,
McDonald's.
As suggestions go, I would say they were quite Amazon. Tedious link into Amazon. I mean, the good thing for Google is that Amazon haven't stepped into gaming. Oh wait, here we go. Amazon reportedly planning to announce a Stadia-like game streaming platform next year. The streaming race is set to heat up in 2020. This is an article by James O'Connor at GameSpot. Google recently released the Stadia in certain regions, the first streaming-only console to arrive on the market. It's been a shaky launch with many features missing from the system at launch, but reviews, including our own, suggest that there's a lot of potential in Stadia. With Microsoft also testing Project xCloud, game streaming technology is on the rise, and it sounds like the biggest company in the world is looking to get in on it too. CNET is reporting that Amazon has their own plans for games streaming, which they will unveil next year. This was first reported back in January 2019 as a rumour, with no official word since. However, CNET cites two insiders who say that Amazon's plans will be revealed in 2020. No specific plans or details have been announced yet, and Amazon did not respond to CNET's request for comment. According to the report, Amazon has recruited people from other major game companies and has been staffing up for a new initiative that would involve streaming games. It is anticipated that Amazon's ownership of Twitch will factor into their designs. Currently, Amazon Prime members can pick up free games as part of their subscription, and also Amazon Prime members can subscribe to one channel for free on Twitch. So if you have an Amazon Prime subscription now, maybe check, see if you are eligible for a Twitch Prime that you can drop on twitch.tv/ice cream uploads. And you guys can't see Bibby laughing at my cheesy sales pitch.
I just want to know how your fucking mind works, man. I don't know whether or not he writes all this down before it goes live. It's straight off the dome, but oh my god.
I've never even read this article, so that was just pure sales shit. Boom.
He used to sell kitchens, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a true fact. It's a true fact. Anyway, let's finish off this article. Amazon is likely entering the market, but not every streaming service giant will be. Netflix will not be getting into game streaming, despite having some plans for getting into game development. There we go. I mean, thoughts from the chat. Do we keep Big Bib on the screen, or do we put Bib back in his box? Or do we put him on the shelf? I mean, we'll take the suggestions. We'll leave him where he is for now, because it's nice to see.
Danny Day in the chat has just put any type of box making you out to sound like a cat. You just love boxes. Morning, Danielle.
Saucy.
You're putting me on the shelf, aren't you?
So, no, I was drinking my brew.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I just seen Jess put shelf, so I just imagine you just went boop, baby on the shelf. But anyway, back to the amazing reporting planning. Yes, is Bibby's final word on that?
Is the reported planning where?
So the Amazon reportedly planning to announce a Stadia-like gaming streaming platform. Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse for Google at the moment, you got Hyper. I want to say HyperX, but that's really not it. It's xCloud. HyperX is my is my RAM card. But no, with xCloud, these Amazon apparently getting into it as well. It's not going to go well for them.
The thing is, as well, is I know that we're always quick to say Google has a shitload of money, and they must have fucking some of the biggest server space in the world to run Google, not as in the company, but as in the search engine, and everything else they have with Gmails and YouTube and all the rest. Google has ridiculous services, but Amazon has the Amazon web server kind of thing. So they are providing cloud-based solutions as well to shit loads of people. So it's not as if Amazon are like, oh crap, we've got to contest with the might of Microsoft who make games and Google who have cloud stuff. Amazon have their own games platforms, they have their own hardware, they have their own software, so they're not exactly outside of the race, put it that way. They definitely have a lot that they can be. I mean, the tagline was the streaming race is set to heat up in 2020, and absolutely, Amazon definitely have something to throw into the ring there.
Yeah, Amazon have got a lot to offer in terms of it goes on to say in the article, they've already got Twitch, they know how to stream, they've got Amazon Prime, as in you can watch TVs and films via their services. They know what they're doing when it comes to this stuff, and I can pretty much bet my house on the fact that they will not release something until they are completely in the zone, and they will know that they're going to be getting either a good reputation from it, or they're just going to be extremely smart and just say, look, we know it's not going to be perfect day one. Here's everything that we are going to be giving you day one. Here's the roadmap for everything else. Everybody now has a blueprint of what to do thanks to Google, and it's obviously with the last 3 weeks, it seems like we have just been talking shit about Google. I want them to be half decent because I think at some point down the line, this is the way to go. I was watching a very small documentary by someone on YouTube called Clean Prince Gaming. If you haven't watched any of his stuff before, really, really good gaming documentaries. But he was saying that Xbox and Microsoft were too early to the party 7 years ago because everything that they was promising 7 years ago with the Xbox One has now become what we're heading into 7 years later, i.e. as of this month when Stadia's been released, it's going to be a streaming video game service, which is exactly what they was planning. But everyone was like, I want physical games, mate. I want to be able to come into work and give a copy of Pro Evo or FIFA like Graham did with me this year. There you go, Bibs. There's a game. You go and take that. Everything that they was wanting to do 7 years ago is now starting to become a reality.
I think
they were just too soon to the party.
We've kind of spoke about this previously as well on the Scoop, where we kind of said the same sort of thing. I think the issue for Xbox, they weren't just ahead of time, but they also had stuff that people didn't believe in. So not only the like that. For me, probably the most damning thing is that 20-30 second video that's still on PlayStation's YouTube channel where like Shuhei Yoshida goes, it's like, how do you share games on PlayStation? And because Xbox has just announced that all of their games are going to have DRM, which is digital rights management, which means that you don't buy the game, you don't own the game, you own the right to use that game. So if you have the right to use a game, great, you can use it. But then if you want to give it to Bibby, no, Bibby doesn't have a right to use that game. You have a right to use that game. So that DRM then started to become an issue. It's like, okay, so I've got a shitload of Xbox 360 games and a shitload of original Xbox games that I've had forever that I pass around to my mates and he plays one and then I play one of his and then we swap. But DRM means that if I want to give him my game, I've bought the game, but then he has to pay to buy the game second hand from me. So you basically making profit of each time, which is then also shitting on the second-hand games market. CEX, and I mean, it's gone now, but GameStation, and now obviously Game, and loads of other stores benefit from second-hand sales. Games companies, in particular first parties, don't like second-hand sales because they don't make any money on that. So people were just going, so you want to make money off us, you want to stop other businesses having money, and you just want all the money for yourself. So that kind of DRM shit, on top of the fact that people weren't ready, just meant that they were doomed, even if it was good ideas. Because the thing is, like, a lot of the smarter articles at the time were kind of going, yeah, okay, this all makes sense. We understand why they want it to be always on. We understand what it brings. But 7 years ago, quite a lot of people still didn't have like fiber optic internet. Never mind always on connections. Never mind DRM. So yeah, Microsoft definitely were years ahead, and I think that's probably going to help them. I mean, because they've been thinking, they're thinking. 2019 thoughts back in 2012 kind of thingy. So their ideas that they've clearly binned for the Xbox One at launch obviously set them back in the console generation, but that's potentially going to give them a lot of a head start when it comes to doing the online cloud gaming, which I imagine will become more and more prevalent over the next generation. Tickle, 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 says the clip in chat from Pirate. Have you seen that?
I have, yeah. I've got the chat on the right hand side. I've just not got the video playing. But just moving on to to this again for a second. Arguably, like you were just saying, then with the second-hand market within the last 7 years, you've had people like Granger Games. They've gone over. Game Station. You mentioned that they've gone under. Game very, very nearly went under, and this is still in the fact that. The second-hand games are still being sold within their premises, but what they're doing is they're charging so much more for second-hand games. Like if you was to buy Call of Duty brand new for £45, you traded it in, they'd give you £20. They'd go and then sell it for £35. But they're kind of I don't know the word for it. I keep on sounding like I'm exhaling because I'm trying to find the word for it as I'm going into my point. What is they're kind of cutting the nose off to spite the face. I'll use that analogy. They're not giving you what you think your product is worth, because if you know that that's going to be put back on the shelf for £35 and they've robbed you of £15, why would you want to go and sell your game in there? You'd rather sell it on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the need for those establishments is sooner or later going to run out. GameSpot in America, they apparently went into administration. Is it GameStop, not GameSpot? GameShot.
Game shit. Game shot. Shut game.
GameStop. Yeah, GameStop have had to move into a different kind of market. They started selling merchandise and all that stuff just to be able to try and get more money in it. There was at one point, there was meant to be extending most of the shops so that they could have like a retro video games night and load of couches and be able to sell food and that, so they can try and get the average consumer to come in and play games rather than just buying them from them. So there's a load of different ways that these places can try and stay relevant, but they're just so old school in trying to sell these games for stupid prices that they are eventually going to kill themselves rather than you owning the game digitally, which a lot of people are moving towards now. Anyway, when was the last time you went to a midnight launch?
I've never been to a midnight launch. I am too lazy.
Yeah. That's the thing. Midnight launches was a thing at one point, but now you can buy the game digitally and have it being locked at midnight rather than having to leave the house and it pissing down rain to go out stand outside Asda or Tesco waiting to spend £45 on a game. I used to go all the time. Me, Mike Willis, and the rest of the boys who used to play clubs used to book like 3 days off work to go and play FIFA and play clubs for 3 days in our pants. That's just
all in each other's pants, or
absolutely, we all share one pair.
Nice. Saves on the washing. When's Bibby's new single dropping? Are you suggesting we did a nice you Christmas single? Oh, she dealt. The initial point that we've kind of gone off topic a little bit was that Amazon basically reportedly planning to announce a Stadia-like game streaming platform next year. We showed off the Stadia in the studio that we have. Then we talked about how Stadia has been a bit shit and how Amazon are launching their own bit. Then we progressed through to saying how Xbox has xCloud and they are kind of ahead of the game because they fucked up this generation by announcing all of the DMR and the always online stuff that the Xbox One, their original plans were, but that all fed into what were coming out. So they were ahead of everyone else. They did it too soon. But then that's when we started talking about DRM and not being able to trade games and things like that.
But is mentioned there about the old school place to go. There's one in Leeds. Yeah, they opened a second one in Leeds, but the one that me and Graham have been to, Arcade Club, mate, the best place in the world. That is where I'm going for my birthday weekend this year, and I'm not even joking.
Let's.
But Arcade Club is the tits. It opens at 11 o'clock in the morning and it closes at 11 o'clock at night, and it's literally 3 floors of glorious.
It's just said, heard it's 3 floors. Games. Literally, as soon as you said it flashed up in chat. It is. It's really good, and not only the thing with Arcade Club. The thing we'll kind of wrap up on this because we've gone well off tangent. We're not talking about Amazon anymore. But the thing there that it all kind of comes down to, the reason that people were saying cut his nose off, cut the nose off to spice to
Spice the face.
spice their face, to spite their face. Is game stores have overhead, so they have the brick and mortar costs. So taking a game in, reselling it, and they're having to recruit some costs there. But it's probably not that. It's probably more having to satisfy shareholders and turn profits and whatever. That's the reason why they're selling games for a stupidly high price. So, but they're also thinking, if you come in to our store and you could buy this brand new game for 47 quid on shelf, or you can buy the exact same game that's just got the shrink wrap removed and you've got all the guarantees of it working for 12 quid cheaper, do you want to save 12 quid? Whereas in reality, you're thinking, it's been played, it's been opened, someone's done it, you've literally made all your profit on it, and you want to make more profit again, just sell it for 25 quid or 30 quid rather than 30 fucking 5 quid or whatever. So yeah, that's where the likes of Gumtrees and the Facebook Marketplace and whatever, because you go on Facebook Marketplace, guarantee FIFA on launch day is going to be 25 quid, when it's still 49.99 in the Trafford Centre kind of thing in game. So yeah, absolutely. But that value element is why Arcade Club and stuff is so good, because you get 3 floors, you get retro areas, you get VR, you get PCs, you get consoles, you get streaming setup sort of stuff. But then, yeah, that's what I'm going to say. But then when it comes to buying all the extras, you go for a drink inside a game store, you're probably spending 2 quid for it. You go for a pizza, a full pizza at Arcade Club. What was it, like 150, 2 quid or something stupid?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And it's
but
like,
they had all the old school sweets as well, like all the old American sweets and things like that, and old cans of pop, so you can get the good old Iron Brew stuff, Dandelion and Burdock and all that. It's quality. It's literally the best.
Yeah,
it's the best.
But you can tell the guy that owns it, he fixes and stuff. He fixes all the pinball machines, all the arcade machines. He does all that stuff himself. He's massively invested. He is a gamer, and that comes through to the product. Which, let's loop it all the way back so we can move on. Hopefully, Stadia gets some gamers managing it at the top, because at the moment they aren't satisfying the gamers' needs. Not being able to play a game with other people, not being able to scratch off achievements or do any of the basic stuff that you get in games these days is hurting them massively, and you can see it in all the reviews. So Amazon coming out could sting them a little bit more. I think. There we go. I pressed the wrong button. It's fine. Nothing's on fire. So, yeah. The thing for Google is they were hoping they were going to be a big fish in a little pond. But that pond now has xCloud in it, so Microsoft are there, Google are there, Sony, obviously we mentioned, they've not said anything about it. They own Gaikai, which was they bought out Gaikai, which was a streaming platform, so they could potentially be something. And Amazon are there as well. Google wanted to be there first, so they were the only fish in the pond. But at the moment, that pond looks a bit shit, mate.
A little bit.
So yeah. Anyway, speaking of
ponds,
fish.
I knew that's where you were going with it. I could see it coming from a mile off.
Fortnite is holding a fishing tournament this weekend. Bring the bass back. Fortnite's slowing down the pace a bit this week and giving players a reason to holster weapons and pick up rods, all in the name of its inaugural fishing tournament. Epic is calling its newly revealed event Triggerfish Presents Fortnite Fishing Frenzy. Triggerfish being the name of the accompanying premium skin, because, of course. And things get underway tomorrow, 22nd of November at 1 p.m. The rules are simple enough. Just grab a rod and start fishing. Catches acquired using the harpoon gun, epic ones, will not qualify. The tournament will take place on a regional basis, and players can duke it out in a non-violent, fish-based fashion, obviously, to be crowned the winner in one of 4 categories. The title of Top Angler will be awarded to a player in each region that manages to catch the most fish in a single match, while the Small Fry Champion title will go to the player that catches the most small fry during the competition. Similar categories exist for players that catches the most floppers, and that catches the most slurp fish. Nice. Each regional category winner will be awarded a real-life engraved llama trophy. Okay, that's pretty cool. Players that don't have the time for uninterrupted angling won't be forgotten either. Epic says that everyone that uses a fishing rod in-game between the start of the tournament and its conclusion on Sunday, 24th of November at 1 p.m, will receive the play-to-win spray. Additionally, anyone that manages to reel in a mythic goldfish will be awarded the Bottom Dweller pickaxe. Full rules and links to the tournament's live regional leaderboards can be found in Epic's Fishing Frenzy announcement post. Admittedly, all this is a bit of a surprise turn for a game predominantly built around speed building and headshots, but it's clear Epic is eager to shake up its increasingly well-worn Battle Royale formula now that Fortnite's Chapter 2 is firmly underway. Competitive fishing might not be on quite the same scale as some of Fortnite's previous antics, such as the recent raid-like Halloween event, But with Season 1 now confirmed to be lingering around until February, there's still plenty of time for the bigger stuff. Don't think this will take us too long to go over. I think it's kind of it's a nice bit of content. I think that's kind of the way to put it. I like the fact that Fortnite do stuff like this. Do I give a shit about fishing? No. Have I played Fortnite Chapter 2 yet? No. Will this entice me back in? No. I mean, is Fortnite Chapter 2 enough to entice me back in? Yeah, it is. The game looks really good. It still does. It's not high on my list of games. I've got a million games that are high on my list of games. But for the people that this is targeted at, those people that do play Fortnite, this gives them a little bit of something competitive away from their 24/7 competition. Take a little bit of time out. It's almost like you play a game till you hate it, and then have some time away from it, and you come back to it and you think, I've missed this game. And that's the kind of thing that they want to build within Fortnite. So it's nice to see, and that Epic are really good at doing that.
Well, again, he's just trying to keep it fresh. Adding more stuff. You can never add too much stuff in until you do, and then it just turns out to be an absolute burning car crash. But yeah, it's small things like this. It just keeps it relevant, really, doesn't it? It keeps people interested. They can do something else. They added the fishing in. I have no idea why they added it in initially before they even announced this as kind of an in-game competition. I don't know what actually happens. I think you get health. You can fish the water, that you can use your fishing rod, get the fish, and then you can use it as little small pieces of health.
I think you can fish weapons out as well, as far as I'm aware.
Right.
You can fish out.
So yeah, it did have a purpose then, but they just added it in for just another little piece of content. It's just something for our listeners, if they haven't heard of it before, you've got something there new in the game ready for you.
We're gonna need a bigger boat. Jaws. They do content very well. They do. Like Bibby at FIFA? Do you mean, is that related to the previous comment? I mean,
cheers, mate.
We'll take that as a compliment. Yeah. I mean, I did nothing involved that whatsoever. I just sat and watched, but I'll take it as a compliment too. Yeah. As we move ahead, Fortnite, you can do fishing things. For those of you though that maybe you have a Nintendo Switch and you're not fancying doing any fishing on Fortnite. Maybe you want to do something else on your Switch. Well, that's fine, because Alien Isolation finally gets a Nintendo Switch release date, and it's actually not that far away. So Imogen Beckhelling from Eurogamer says, in just 2 weeks' time, we'll be able to terrify ourselves running away from the Xenomorphs on the Switch, as Alien Isolation gets a December release date on the Nintendo console. As spotted on Nintendo website, I think the is missing from there, as spotted on the Nintendo website, and in today's trailer below, the game will be available from on the Switch from 2 days after Graham's birthday. Oh no, it says 5th of December. That's what it says. Not 2 days after Graham's birthday. Although
4 days before Bibby's birthday.
And it will feature gyroscopic aiming and HD rumble. If you've never played Alien Isolation, and you really should because it's great, it says in brackets, the game is inspired by Ridley Scott's Alien. It follows Amanda Ripley, Ellen Ripley's daughter, as she attempts to discover what fate befell her mother. Obviously, this doesn't turn out to be as easy as arriving on a space station and simply getting the information she needs, as like dear old mum before her, Amanda finds herself stranded, being hunted by a xenomorph. Alien Isolation has just one xenomorph, though if you fancy a bit more of a challenge, a modder recently imported 8 of the damn things into one level, and it links through there in the article. We were given a glimpse of Alien Isolation's game footage on the Switch last month, which revealed it'll come with all the DLCs, and the graphics look pretty good too. He's hoping that's still the case when this hits Nintendo's console in December. As a man that plays a lot more on his Switch than I do on mine, Bib, can you see yourself picking up Alien Isolation? You like being scared shitless, so I imagine I know what you're going to say to this.
Yeah, if the price is right, 100%, because it's extremely cheap on the PS4 to be able to pick up, and it's especially for the PC as well, where you can like whack up that high res and just play in all its glory. It is a fantastic game. If you are into your atmospheric horror games and you haven't played this, I would probably suggest picking it up on the thing that you can play with the best performance or the best visuals, which is probably going to be your PC. But yeah, if you're not really bothered about that and you just want to be immersed, then just pick it up on the Switch, price dependent, because you are guaranteed to be at least paying 30 sheets for this when you can pick it up for next to nothing on the other two platforms. But yeah, it's a fantastic game. Again, price dependent, I'll pick it up, but I've already got it anyway for my PC and my PlayStation. Fantastic game. Glad that, again, it's another AAA game that's managing to come over to the Switch. It's not going to be a system seller, but for people like myself that are massively interested in these types of games, then yeah, it's just another massive for the Switch.
Take the word. Hi, Reg. You say I need to stretch my PC's legs. Great advice. I'm assuming that's the get it on the format that's best for you. One thing that I do want to mention, which is on a bit of a tangent, and I've just thrown it in, so I've not even mentioned this to people yet. Did you see the trailer for Half-Life Alyx yesterday?
No, I was going to include it in the news this morning, but we already talked about it the other day, and obviously you haven't got that much of a history with it, and it's been so long since I played it that I don't want to start talking shit about something that I'm not really currently up to date with. But the trailer looked good though, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean this is on Twitter, this video that I'm playing now, so it will look a bit shit. But this is the VR game. Look at how freaky this looks. Like okay, we'll leave it at that bit there. We won't go through the full trailer. Obviously, that is from obviously Valve on Twitter at Valve Software. So feel free to go and check that full trailer out if you want. I mean, just wanted to come back it because we didn't do a very good job of covering Half-Life the other day. But that VR element to it does make it look shit hot. And the reason I'm mentioning that is because Alien Isolation, I believe, was one of the first sort of scary games to get that VR treatment, and apparently it was terrifying.
Well, so was Resident Evil 7 in VR and PlayStation VR as well. I shit myself playing that in the arcade club. That's the first time I played VR on the PlayStation.
Let's play something like a scary, terrifying VR game, and let's play it in public where people can see.
I'm not gonna lie, I did scream a good few times. With just you start sweating, you take off the headset, and people are just staring at you as you're screaming at the TV. But yeah, it's there's nothing better than VR in horror. I don't care what anyone says. The Batman thing was cool. I liked that. The racing stuff. I can't remember what it might have been Gran Turismo. I don't know. But playing in VR, that was brilliant. However, playing a horror game in VR, because you know something's going to happen and you're seeing it from the best perspective possible. You can kind of feel it, especially if you've got decent headphones on, that noise-cancelling ones. Woo! Baby! It's good. What platform for VR, baby? PS4. I played the PS4 one, yes, at Arcade Club. They do have the Oculus stuff as well when you're playing like the racing chairs and things like that. But yeah, the Resident Evil one I played in VR on PS4.
Well, I'd like to have a shooter game, a good quality one in VR. The good thing with things like those scarier games, the jump scare ones, jump scares work best when you're in a bottleneck. So having an open world thing, it's always easier to have something on rails. Not for scaring people, but that works in VR too, because if you've got an open world thing, that's things that need to be developed and designed and created. All your level architects need to create stuff at high res detail in life-sized scaling sort of thing, so it becomes an absolute machine to code that stuff for VR. So when I'm saying having a shooter, so imagine playing a Call of Duty or a Battlefield sort of ground war, and there's 100 people running around. They'd be like, "Fuck me, this is amazing!" Duck dead. But even still, that would be insane. But I believe that is a long way from being something that we can achieve when you compare it to scary games in VR, because they can just they can make you feel like you're in a bigger world, but you're actually just going down a corridor and taking a few specific turns that it makes you take, and then you shit yourself. What was Resident Evil? What was the VR? 7? Was it 7?
Yeah, 7. Yeah. So you was in the house, which again, like you say, it's bottlenecked. You're just walking around the corridors of the house and in the basement and things like that. It was absolutely terrifying. Even though I'd already completed the game like 2 or 3 times before I even played it in VR. In normal standard mode at home, I went in and I played it in VR because it's the first time I was experiencing it, and it was incredible. I do want a PSVR, but like Keiki just said there, I always fancied it, just don't want it gathering dust in a month or so. I know I'd probably definitely get my money's worth out of it, because there's games like Arizona Sunshine, which is another zombie game that I'd like to play. I'd like to play the PUBG in VR. I think that would be pretty cool. So there is a lot of it. A Skyrim in VR. I mean, what more can you need?
Better games.
So many games. Well, on the PS4, the VR games actually do go quite cheap. So you'll be able to pick up an half decent game for next to nothing.
Just always fancied it, just didn't want it gathering dust in a month. So as you mentioned then, I had the exact same conversation with Danielle last night, because I showed Danielle the Alyx trailer. It was actually watching it whilst I was watching you on TV, so I mentioned it to Danielle then. And she said to me, do you even still want PSVR? I was like, yeah. But it was a no disguised as a yes. No, I don't, because yes, I do. I want the idea of a PSVR. I want my PSVR so I can play a game this week and it be really good and play it intensively, and then put it down and play some PUBG and play some Death Stranding, whatever else I've got, and then in a couple of weeks' time when the new game comes out, I'll play some more VR and put it down, just like you would with a controller or a system. I kind of, even though it's for the PS4, I kind of see it as a separate console. So you play some games on your PlayStation, play some games on your PC, play some games on your Xbox, play some games on the VR, and that kind of, I like that sort of thing. But you just don't get the games. There is nothing there, so it would be sat there gathering dust. So I did say to Danielle, yes, I do kind of want it, but no, I don't, because there's nothing there. But
what I will say though is you can play it on your PS5 when it comes out. So if you buy it now, it is going to be compatible with PS5.
Yeah, my only worry of doing that is was the boat that I was going into, is that they've said that they are going to keep continuing development, and what Sony are doing is I can't say it exactly, but I know that like in all of that switch around with Shuhei Yoshida going to looking for indie devs and so on, there was conversations around VR and whether PlayStation still believes in it. And PlayStation still are funding third parties, so they're actually putting money into developers as like R&D funding. Okay, go out and look at how you can push it further. Look at how you can include it into your games. Look at how you can design. And they're doing that on an indie level and a few levels up. There's no actual solid details on that, because obviously at that level there never is, but the fact that they are doing that shows me that they're still trying to work with it. I'm just worried about if I buy a PSVR now, is it going to be like buying an Oculus Rift and then the format still hasn't taken off, and now everyone's going, oh, Oculus Quest, yeah, and you're like, what the fuck, I've got a Rift sat here, I've got a big fucking matrix wire coming out the back of my head like Neo when he's put in a fish tank kind of thing. I want the wireless one now. So
I've just posted a link in there for Keiki with Shroud playing PUBG in VR, and I'm fairly certain he's using the Vive.
Yeah,
the HTC Vive.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. It's not actually PUBG. It's a game similar. And my issue with it, I have seen that video, and it is a good video. My issue with it is that it looks crap. But that's the thing.
I think all VR games do, although don't they? They're not played in like 4K 1080p. They are quite blurry. Is that the word?
It's just like, I mean, PUBG, when you look at PUBG on the PC and then you look at PUBG on the console, you obviously take a massive drop down. You think, okay, I can see it still looks good. I mean, it looks shit when I put it next to the PC. That's why a lot of people on PC go, this looks fucking shit. But it's like, but that's because you have all of the HD textures and stuff, and we don't have that level of it on the console. But we'll brave it, should I say, because we can get through it. But then when you go to VR and it literally goes down to like, you're like playing that Nightmare TV series from the 80s and 90s, and you're like, fucking hell. So I don't mind a drop in the visual fidelity. It's just as long as it's not clunky and as long as it all kind of works, and it's like the gameplay animations. Showing your age now, I know. It's not the first time I've spoken about Nightmare on this either, but it's get Atmosphere on your Christmas list. Don't know what that is.
I think he means the board game. That was a game and a half. If that's what he means anyway, but Atmosphere was incredible. He knows it.
I've not actually played it, so I don't know.
It's terrifying. Well, it was terrifying. I had it on video back in the day.
I remember my cousin Kieran had the game on the video. So when we get to VR for PUBG and things like that, I don't mind if the layers, the surfaces, the textures are all just a bit speckly because they're a bit crap. It's the animation side of it, and if you watch that game from Shroud, it's kind of like the robotic duff movements, which if the movement stuff side of it feels a bit more immersive, so the people that you see skulking around that you want to shoot, if that looks cool, I can ignore the texture in, but when we get to that point, but it is what it is. I mean, maybe we'll get something that pushes it up on the next release of consoles, or even if we're just getting into 2020, when there may be other things coming in 2020, which is a nice shoehorn into our final article. And I mean, I've added this one in for myself. I can't really see in this being anything of interest to Bib, so you'll just have to grin and bear it as we go through, Bib. But Resident Evil 3 Remake to release in 2020. Resident Evil 3. Report claims Capcom even is pushing ahead with the latest remake following Resident Evil 2's success. Capcom will release a remake of Resident Evil 3 in 2020. A new report has claimed. Baby, put the pants back on. And we know you're not on screen. YouTube channel Spawnwave reports that Resident Evil 3 remake is in active development at Capcom, which matches what VGC has been told by a number of sources. That's, let me jump back up. I don't know if I mentioned this is from Andy Robinson at VGC, which is why they mentioned it there. So cheers, Andy. Resident Evil 2 remake released in January 2019, 21 years after the PlayStation original, and has been a very successful title, Capcom, with sales approaching 5 million units. It's likely that Resident Evil 3 remake would be able to reuse at least some of the assets from the title, as well as mechanics and engine work, making a release at some point in 2020 possible. The original PlayStation version of Resident Evil 3, released the year after its predecessor, the 21st anniversary of that title, will be celebrated in September 2020. Resident Evil 2 producer... Do you want to read that one out, babe? Yoshiaki Hirabayashi. Wow, fucking I nailed that one. As previously indicated, Capcom would consider further Resident Evil remakes if fans voiced their enthusiasm for them. The release of Resident Evil 3's remake could coincide with asymmetric online multiplayer game Project Resistance, which went into closed beta in October. The multiplayer spin-off announcement in September forced Capcom producer Matt Walker to address fan concern about the future of the franchise as a traditional single-player game. It's totally valid that people want more of that quality core experience offered in Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 7, he said. My take: we as a company need to continue to branch out and try to offer up new gameplay in addition to refining the experiences people expect from us. If we just continue to offer up the same thing over and over again, people will gradually lose interest with what we're making, which is the most difficult thing to balance ever. Give the people new experiences, but don't piss all over the experiences that they love you for. I mean, I don't envy them for that. But baby, I mean, try to just at least feign some level of interest in this discussion if you can.
I don't know if I can. This is the best fucking news I've had all year since Resident Evil 2 came out!
All right, mate, calm down. So, for those of you that don't know, Resident Evil 2 Remake launched in January. Baby did a full playthrough. Did you play through both stories on the channel? I think you did.
I did. I played both through Leon and Claire's campaign. And it was everything that I wanted. Everything that I expected when I wanted to play it went straight out of the window and give me even more than what I ever could imagine a remake being. I was a bit skeptical with the over-the-shoulder kind of camera thing because I just liked the thought of the tank controls as a big old school Resident Evil fan. The kind of tank controls with the static cameras and stuff like that. That was me. That's how I envision any kind of Resident Evil. Resident Evil 2 1998 was better than Resident Evil 4. I don't care what anyone says. Everyone loved Resident Evil 4 because it was an action game, not a survival horror game. Get your fucking facts right. But yeah, the Resident Evil 2, the one that came out this year, absolutely amazing. If they can make Resident Evil 3 in the same vein with getting you to go out a bit more into Raccoon City, mate, we are streaming that bitch again. That's what's going to happen. I can't wait. I agree with what they're saying, really. Yeah, it could technically come out next year because they've already got the engine. Building the engine, the camera angles and things like that is probably the hardest part of getting everything to look good. Because obviously you need the camera in certain positions to make sure that what you're seeing in front of you is visible. Rather than it being like a static camera where you've got an entire frame of pre-rendered backgrounds and then your character just walking through them. Again, if they've got that already set, then we're halfway there. They just need to put all the new textures and things in.
Not only that, you've got the storyline written out, so you know what the storyline is. Your characters, you don't have to do any character development. That's already written out. The script is there, although you might want to change that. Obviously, you have to go through and re-record the lines, most likely, unless they have the audio. I imagine the audio they can't port, and they'll have to do that again.
Well, they've got for Resident Evil 2, they've got different voice. It wasn't the original voice actors that came in and did it. They had brand new ones, but they also did mocap for the majority. Like if you look at the people who played them in the game, they look pretty much what they look like in real life. They did a full mocap on them. Nice. So yeah, if they have to get more people in to do that kind of thing again, then so be it. Do it because it was so authentic the way that they put it into Resident Evil 2 that I need more of it. I need more of it in that now. There's meant to be bringing out DLC for Resident Evil 2 at some point. It could potentially be the police or the other police officers that are in there. It could be the deputy police, the deputy police chief officer, whatever his name is. But yeah, I need more of it.
We need to cut out
Cheap
every
irons.
time Bibby forgets what he's saying or doesn't have the word straight to mind, and then we need to cut those out, and we can have like a full ASMR stream. It's like Rolf Harris is in the house.
Do you tell what it is yet?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not unfeasible. Obviously, the game came out in January. I don't believe that they would have sat there and gone, oh wait, shit, it's just one Ultimate Game of the Year at the Golden Joysticks. Let's start making the new one. I think they'd have seen how successful it was back then anyway, and if they hadn't already started to put wheels in motion, I imagine they'd have done that. They'd have probably put wheels in motion to a point and seen how it went down, and then gone, actually, do you know what? Yeah, let's continue. Let's crack ahead with this. But like putting those wheels in motion doesn't necessarily mean that you continue. That happens a lot with games. There's an internal process called greenlighting where they'll get something, and it's only when it gets past the point of being greenlit that they go, okay, we'll plow ahead with this, because they put time into R&D, and they can go, do you know what? We don't believe in this project. And quite often you'll see games that even get past greenlit and get stopped. But I imagine they will have got to that point. Let me just actually show one thing. I've just started looking for another channel to host for while when we're on air, but I want to show this on screen now because we're in there. I'm looking for another talk show to bring on screen, but look, as you can see, just here, there's Bibby going, this is the best news I've had all year. He's got his arms out like...
What a quality thumbnail.
And I look like I'm like, oh no, he's doing it again. But
Just admiring.
But yeah, by the way, if you do know any other show that you'd like us to jump to, then please let us know. Because one thing we kind of want to do is keep passing people along to particularly talk shows and podcasts because it's nice, but there's just a lot of radio shows that aren't really interacting with the audience, and we don't want to do that because we want to chat with you guys. So if you do know anyone that you'd like to send us forward to, then feel free to suggest in the chat. But yeah, they definitely would have been in the process of pushing this game out, but the fact that it's been nominated for the Game Awards Game of the Year, the fact that it won the Ultimate Game of the Year at the Golden Joysticks, I mean, there's no way that is not happening. Now, in my perspective, it would be an absolute money spinner that's missed. I think the only thing that could go wrong is they bring this game out and people just don't enjoy it as much. And not that I say it go wrong, I reckon it'll still do very, very well. But people could go, I've relived a 21-year-old game already. It wasn't kind of what I wanted. But then that's it. You just stop. Then you don't carry on with it. You just leave 2 and 3, and that's it. We'll stop here now. We don't need to do any more. We'll look at creating something new then. So it's almost a no-brainer for me. Yes, do it. You win in shitloads of awards, and we can make Bibby shit himself live on twitch.tv/ice cream uploads for your viewing enjoyment. So do it. Do it now. Shit it good. Scare that baby just like you should. But yes, I believe we are out of news. Let me just have a quick check. That was the last piece of news for the scoop today, ladies and gentlemen. So let us know if there is anyone that you would like to drop a raid. And you know, let's go back to Bib in the studio so we can finish with Big Bib. Hi, Bib. Hey. So yeah, if there is anyone you would like us to drop a raid on, please feel free to let us know. If not, we will just end the stream as normal and then see if we can just drop a host on someone. But it would be nice to just throw people into someone's chat, because the thing with talk shows and podcasts is quite often everyone sits in 2 or 3 different shows, but then everyone else doesn't really have many viewers. It's a growing avenue on Twitch, so it's nice to throw. If like this, I can just quick look at the chat. We've got over 10, 11-ish people in here now. That would put us, well, we're like the 6th biggest channel. So if we can drop that on someone else, it would be a nice little bump. So yeah, if there is anyone, not necessarily just today, but any time going forward, as we've mentioned as well, Bibby's mentioned it in the past. Feel free to send us your follow recommendations on Twitter at Ice Cream Uploads on Twitter. If you're gonna be streaming around 11ish on a weekday, let us know, and we would happily send our guys over to you once we've done the show. So feel free to let us know there. But Bibby, you're obviously AFK tonight. One thing actually that I do want to mention, if you guys could do us all a favour, obviously I started the stream by showing you all of our sexy stuff for Sniper Ghost Warrior contracts, including the sexy Seeker mask that I am modelling for you on screen right now. We are pushing the game. It's obviously out today. If you want a copy of the game, please feel free to check out at SGW Contracts, Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts, so SGW Contracts on Twitter. If you are a content creator, you can get a code for the game to play on your own channels. So just go to SGW Contracts Twitter, look for the post about Arsenal.gg. You see it in there. All you have to do is just go to Arsenal.gg, sign up, and say, I'm a content creator, I would like a code to play the game. And all of the people that we are distributing codes to with the guys at CI Games, they will all be going live at 6 o'clock tonight. So if you aren't doing anything tonight, 6 o'clock, open up Twitch, search for Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts on Twitch, and then look at all the games. Tune in, say Ice Cream Uploads have sent you, and they'll be like, who? So you say Jelly Media, and they go, there you go, Ice Cream Uploads, and they go, okay, yes, I know what you mean. But yeah, just dropping in to say hi and bye. I have a 5 a.m. wake up tomorrow. See you, lads. Yeah, you're in the underworld, Australia, I believe. Christian, was it? Sorry, baby's just had a seizure. So yeah, indeed, I'm in Australia. What time is it in Australia? Because it's just hit.
How's the weather over there?
It's just hit 12 noon here. So when you say 5 a.m. wake up call tomorrow, I'm like, woo, that's a long old sleep. 11 p.m. Well, you go get yourself some sleep. Thank you for dropping in again. Once again, hope you've been doing those crunches. I mean, we need some squats as well going on. You can't forget the old leg muscles and the buttocks. So yeah, do it. It'll help you sleep as well. But ladies and gentlemen, as Aimbot Christian has just done, we need to toddle off and get some sleep ourselves. If you guys are live tomorrow, I'll tune in. We maybe some ad hoc streams. We usually do Monday to Friday, but there could be occasional weekend streams. So yeah, guys, this is gold, says KKB. What is it?
I just realised I'm in big screen here. This is great stuff. All right, guys.
Yeah, that's why I said we'll jump back to Bibi in the studio, but obviously.
This is great. It's doing it in great style.
You sounded a bit.
For all audio listeners, I was rolling around the desk.
You sounded a bit like Mickey Flanagan when you said that. Then you almost sounded like a bit of a Cockney bloke. So yeah, there you go, Bibi Flanagan. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that has been the scoop for today. Do you know what? I'm not even in full screen. You see us out, babe. Go on, lad. You've got it.
Oh, here we go. No, I can't. I haven't got the spiel like you. Okay. You ready? This is I feel like I'm popping my cherry here. So that has been it for Ice Cream Uploads today. It has been Friday, the 22nd of November. If you do see anything on social media that you want to hear our opinions on, this is the bit that I usually do. This is why I'm absolutely nailing it. If you do see anything on social media that you want us to talk about over the weekend, then feel free to have a tag of myself or Graham Day in that. And then we will be able to give you our thoughts, opinions, facts. If it's absolute bullshit, we will be sure to tell you. Is there anything else that you would like to add, Graham?
I mean, Pirate's already dropped it, but ! socials in the chat will give you all our social links as well as the licks at Ice Cream Uploads across all social media. If you're not sure, just type it in, you'll find it. We're there, we're everywhere. But yeah, I think that's it from me. Go on, babe, go on.
And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, stay frosty.